Hi guys, it's me, just Landriscina again, and I would like to celebrate a new holiday, Liberation Day. So have a happy Liberation Day. Yeah. No, I can't keep up the act for much longer because, quite frankly, it makes me sick to my stomach that people are actually thinking that this is a very good thing. That Trump made a brand new holiday for himself. Out of the, it's like a joke. It's like a bad dream that Trump got to name it a new holiday out of the exploitation of the tax system. This sign I made a week or two ago is more appropriate to this little event. Trump is tyranny. So I'm gonna put that right up there on my chair over here. I'll explain to you why this is. I think that this whole thing about Liberation Day, first of all, it reminded me of when in the movie Scarface, when you had the before Tony Montana did all the building up of a drug trade and all that, he went to Freedom Town in Florida, and he was in the refugee camp down there, and as he was gonna kill one of the bigger, more involved people in government and all that, he was saying "Libertad, Libertad," and he killed them. So I find it really funny and kind of cute that Trump made a big deal of this little tariff thing that he's going to do on April 2nd, by the way. So he did like the tariff thing, and then he did like a book, the executive order thing that he does, where he showed up and then he showed to all the people that he was proud they signed his own name to something, which is like the main one executive order that he signed so far. And this one is quite horrible because it will place reciprocal tariffs on everybody, on all countries that he doesn't like an old man saying, "Hey, you kids, get off my lawn, or else I'm gonna give you tariffs." Now, there were two exceptions to this rule, to this whole tariff thing. I'll give you a bunch of guesses as to who it was. Come on, take a wild guess. You'll never believe who it was that got exempt from this whole tariff thing. Yes, indeed. Russia, which no shock there, and North Korea, which, to be honest with you, I don't know what they would, trade with us to be tapped on in the first place, but this comes from the same strong man, we gotta fight together thing, and I gotta buddy up with the people that can pose a threat to him in his empire. And Putin is like his big daddy, if you will. So, yeah. We're pretty much fucked with all the other countries in the world. And I also like the way, Trump made it sound like a real cute little game there that said that I will give everyone a discount, a 50% discount, more or less, to my tariff, because I feel like such a good guy. Look at me, praise me, everybody, praise me. And then he was given, like, let's say, like Vietnam, they was like they charge like 90% tariff on American goods, let's say. And he in his brilliant little mind say that it's okay to tariff them 45% on items from Vietnam, which I honestly don't know what they sell to Americans, but I know that they have swai fish, which is SWAI fish, which they're not too bad as far as taste go, but still. So there's gonna be a rise in price of say food, wine, of course, metal car parts. That will come out later on in the month, I think, and there will be an increase in price for everything, including clothing and all that stuff. But what's worse is that, depending on how Trump feels, we're gonna get more tariffs on certain countries. And yet, when I say that, I mean he put tariffs on every country except the two that I mentioned before, Russia and North Korea. So it's gonna be real bad. Now you see this thing right here? This is my degree from Stony Brook University for my master's degree in teaching social studies. And before that, I got a bachelor's in history with a minor in African studies, almost. And I have enough credits for that, but still, I was well on my way. I would only like 2 or 3 credits off of there. But anyway, according to that and my knowledge of history, I would say that this is going to be a real bad move for America. I mean, the fact that Congress has powers of Paris, right? But Trump just uses these executive orders because he likes being the public spotlight of doing everything good for America, and it's like good in quotations, because we all know that it's gonna be bad. I mean, the man never even heard stagflation before. Kind of a big important term for a business person like to use. But anyway, he likes to use these executive orders, like kind of like an express lane to get what he wants. Forget about Congress, forget about the Senate and the House approval and all that. He just wants what he wants. And that's not good for someone that bankrupted, I think, 6 or 7 different businesses, including a casino or 2. How do you do that? And then how you get elected once for president of the United States, and then you get elected again by the same numbnuts who think that the first term was so wonderful and so good. I mean, what have Republicans done? I mean, I'm not saying like that, what have they done for the country and all that. I'm saying like, oh my God, what have you done? What have you done? Looking at Twist Mill too. When talking about Calypso. Now, I agree that this would be very, very bad for the country and for the economy and the world as a whole. This whole Liberation Day, tests on everybody except the 2 countries, because we are an interconnected society. What happens here affects both in Africa, Europe, and Asia, Australia, and everywhere else in the world too. We are not an isolated state like North Korea, but Trump wanted to make it like so. But that ain't gonna happen very easily. This is almost kind of like his revenge for us laughing at him and saying that he should go to jail for various reasons, which he should. He deserves to go to jail for everything he did before he became president. But anyway, people say that this would be very, very bad for the country. It might even go into Depression era territory because of tests on the internet. But I would go that far. I wouldn't say depression so much as and they also take on a third world war on top of that. I wouldn't go that far. Not directly because of the tests that he can put into place, what that he already did put into place. Although the stock market futures, which I'm not really big into the stock market anyway, show a very, very sharp decline, like somewhere around 1,000 points. So that's really, really, really bad. But like I said, future aggression on say Greenland, on the Panama Canal, or Canada, that would be the cost for a World War III, a World War situation, because Greenland is a territory of Denmark, and Canada is its own separate country altogether. So is Panama, and the canal belongs to the Panamanians operating with China's help. And it's so funny because Mexico is developing their own Panama Canal route through Central America, which will be done by railways. So even if we were to buy the Panama Canal or take it by force, Mexico will always be one step ahead for that because it's almost completed. And also, with the annexation of Canada, Canada is roughly the same size as the continental United States. Not counting Alaska and Hawaii and all the territories overseas and stuff. So it's you're gonna make that whole area into one state, into the 51st state. A real good idea, especially because more likely they would vote Democrat. They would vote blue. You're not even gonna try to divide into separate little sections like its own 10 provinces of 10 states. So you're trying to tell me that you're gonna have the whole thing at one big chunk. That doesn't make any sense. And you're gonna do the same thing if you get Greenland too. That makes even less sense. I can somewhat understand the whole reason for national security and international security. I can understand that a little bit, but this is where it comes in. I think that pretty much the whole reason why Donald Trump is so obsessed over Greenland and the other one, Canada, is probably to offset the terrible effect that these tests are gonna have. That you're gonna get like rare earth minerals and all that stuff from that territory if you were to get it, which they have no interest whatsoever in even humanly here. They always say no, no, no. That, in fact, I think that Trump wants to make a name for himself in the international den of bad guys, Putin and all that, with the annexation of Ukraine and other places like that. taken by force and all that. I think he's also been watching too much Family Guy too, because he did that too with the whole Victoria thing too, when Peter took over Bill Swanson's pool area, and it was like seen as like a big affront to the United States by a foreign territory aggressively taking over the land of the United States. So it'd be very similar to that. But some things all safe and sound and all of his armor cars and all that. Which, yeah, he should feel safe because he's the president of the United States. And I feel dirty for just mentioning that and trying to defend him. I'm sorry for that. I lost my head to this event. So anyway, he wants to make a name for himself, and that's why he wants to get his face on Mount Rushmore, which in itself is really stupid, but whatever. So anyway, I think that this would be bad. Not depression level bad. Not World War III bad. I mean World War 2.5 bad. More of a very severe recession bad. And it won't get as bad as depression. I don't think, I hope and pray that it won't get that bad. But still, it's gonna be really bad. And mark my words, in the future history books of this great nation, it will be both terms of the Trump administration are going to good in history and all that, because of all the rampant hatredism, and all the tariffs and economic decisions of this administration, and just plain old stupid trying to rewriting history, and the fact that Trump wants to rule over every aspect of the country, like the Smithsonian Museum, the National Zoo. I have no idea what he's going to do with the zoo, but it's really asinine and really stupid to do that. You try and change the information about animals and stuff, which I think it's so blatantly stupid. Unless he's trying to make all the exhibits made by white men or white women, but mostly men. I think that I don't know what kind of stupidity he's got for that. Also, there was a museum that they became the chairman of big cultural site. But yeah, you're trying to whitewash history. I'm not a big fan of that, because I grew up with a lot of people of minority groups. I know that they made a bunch of contributions to America that were very important, and white people do tend to override it for themselves. Like with Obama. Obama was the first president. He had a good economy. What did Trump do? Try to take over it and claim for his own. And then right away it went like this. Biden took over. He built up the economy, and Trump is just making it go sink real fast. Faster than the Titanic. trying to override the whole Tuskegee Airmen thing that happened, and try to take away from their brave sacrifices, and that's not going too well for him. He's trying to unemploy lots of veterans and disabled people, and that's not going too well for that. That's very unpopular. I've seen many town halls where Republicans just are being booed and hissed at all the time for that. Because if you're gonna pretend to be patriotic, you gotta do a little bit of thank you to all the veterans and stuff, and salute them. Be nice about it. Don't hide them. The people that sacrificed themselves and got maimed in the process of defending the country. A job that you yourself down, tried to shy away from it, and ran away from. It's more of a jealousy thing that he's jealous of the fact that these people got praised for everything that they sacrificed, and they did. And meanwhile, Trump did nothing for that because he was too much of a sick of shit. A rich boy who ran away from the problems because of daddy's contributions to them. And that's really depressing, actually, that we have chicken shit for a leader of the free world, or what used to be the free world. Let's see, and yes, I do know of a few people who love what Trump's doing, even though it will cost them thousands of dollars in the long run, and they like what he's doing to the economy, even though, in my own opinion, okay, this is the way it goes. Democrats build up the economy, Republicans ruin the economy, and then the cycle continues on, Democrats going up, and then Republicans bring it down again. But the only thing is that when that happens, there's usually like an 8-year gap between Republicans and Democrats, so that while the Democrats are recovering it takes a little bit of time so that they can build it up sufficiently enough so that when the Republican takes over again, he has time to wreck it again. But you see, that didn't happen this time because Donald Trump had the economy, ruined it, and then for the next 4 years after that, Joe Biden took over, and then Trump again. So he's creating the economy again. There was no time for it to recover properly. So basically, this is the decline and a slight incline. Then it'll go right back down to rock bottom levels again. So that's really kind of unfair to us Americans. And yet, it's funny that Trump says, I don't care what happens to you guys. I don't care what happens. I don't care how much you have to pay for it. Groceries, clothing, and whatnot. This is really sad to see that, being that he is the president of the United States, and that he probably doesn't care because he knows that he won't be able to run again. Even though he keeps floating the idea of a third term for himself. Which he can't do that by Constitution. But he'd like to float the idea anyway, just to see what kind of rise he gets from his enemies in the country. And people like us saying for democracy and whatnot. And he also floats the idea that this will be my fourth term. that'll be my first term because the one with Joe Biden was in charge. That was shame anyway. They rigged the election so that I couldn't win it again. So let me get this straight. So even though you weren't in charge, you were still in charge under Joe Biden. And you still hated the fact that Joe Biden was more popular than you, but he handled COVID a lot better than you did. Let me see here. Basically, he still got the same mentality and the same idea of what being president is like as a kindergartner. Oh boy, the president can do whatever he wants to. Oh gee willikers, I sure wish I could be president too like that. And my president is really strong and all of that. But he seemed to, the first time he didn't have, he had checks and balances. And that was more or less like the setup to the next term, where it would be ravenous and destroy the economy. Which I believe, I really do believe that this is on purpose. He's doing all the damage to the economy and the foreign relations on purpose. Whether it's himself or to suit Big Daddy Vlad. And it's really quite funny that he tends to that when he did that and he made the card tariff, the tax on phone cards and stuff. Who do we know that Trump knows that is American oil manufacturer? Let me guess. You think it might be Mr. Elon Musk, the guy with the autistic flute there? No offense to all autistic people, but that was a line of crap. He knew exactly what he was doing. It wasn't much to say. He knew exactly what he was doing. And he paid the consequence for that. Plus, Trump is doing everything in his power to make sure that Mr. Musk is still in business by making it illegal to protest and protest the Teslas, and making it a damn business to try to boost Tesla products. And people aren't as dumb as you like to think they are, because they get you through it. They get you through a hole. So even if you were to buy a Tesla, which I would never, there's still foreign components in the Tesla, so that it would go up in price anyway. And then to buy replacement parts for that would cost a lot of money too. Now, the idea of Liberation Day is kind of like liberating your, like he said that we're going to be liberated from the influence of foreign influence, as far as tasks go and our own industry goes and all that stuff, which is fine and dandy. I would support Trump more if he were to say like, we got more projects for building up infrastructure, so we can't manufacture, like, say, cars and trucks here in America, which I hear that Hyundai is doing it too, but that's just one plant. We're still going to pay for a fortune for the steel and resources to go into that car. But I would like to see more more jewelry plants going on here, more steel plants going up here, more like furniture plants over here. But so far, there's nothing major scale. So basically, you can tariff everybody. Gonna make it's gonna make the price go up for consumers, and it's gonna be horrible for us Americans and for everyone else in the world too, but mostly Americans because yeah, that's all there is to it. And coming from a businessman, I would say that he should know better than this. Unless he really is as stupid as they say he is. But I don't think that. I think he knows that it'd be very bad for the economy, and that he's going to tank it, and that it's going to be just a bloodbath in money. It's going to be a bloodbath in money. And he just like to point off as being like a good thing for the economy. Anyway, it's gonna be really shady. I especially love it when he says, "Oh, the stocks are going up. It's the best record we've ever had." You know what? The only record here is how fast the Dow market drops and how much everything else drops. Now, he said that it's to be a liberation from foreign influence, from foreign industries and stuff, right? But I would consider this more of a liberation from this, all money. This is why I think Liberation Day should be more about the destruction of our money. You might well have it being burned in a big bonfire. Happy Liberation Day, you big fucking orange idiot. And big man baby. So anyway, happy April 2nd, Liberation Day. Hopefully, this will be the first and last Liberation Day. And I stand by that because this holiday sucks. Anything that Donald Trump creates or has an image of himself sucks. Terrible. Especially that golden statue of himself. And it's golden toilet bowl. And thank you for watching my video on my little video for Liberation Day, Libertad thing. Obviously, I did this second, but it should be April Fool's Day because this is a joke holiday by a joke president, and the joke's on Americans. So if you guys like what you see here, and you want to see more of my videos, you can always like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. As you can tell, I give this whole holiday my poop emoji of disgust, because he doesn't care about you, he doesn't care about American industry, he cares about making himself feel happy and wanted and loved. But this is a complete sham. It's a complete joke on American people. And it's shit. For lack of a better term. So anyway, if you guys want to make any more suggestions for me for any future videos and other things, and influence my channel in any way, shape, or form, only comment or text me at 631-707-3707. And also you can follow me on Twitter or Facebook. Twitter or X if you prefer, at P Nelson Pro. Also, you can get me on my email address at jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. So, I salute all you hardworking Americans out there, all you veterans out there. You always have a place in my heart for those that sacrifice for this country. And by the way, I wondered how much you want to bet that Trump will say that because of the trade war, he's going to be a wartime president, even though that really should count for it. Because the only presidents that I would count for that are the presidents who survived during the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, both World Wars, Korea, Vietnam, and Gulf War, any type of hot war, any type of combat war we might have had, which unfortunately did happen at times in history. But my Trump starting a stupid little trade war, it shouldn't count. You should go fight for it, because the trade war doesn't help out anybody at all. So yeah, peace out, my brothers and sisters. Let's hope for the best. Anyway, I want to wish everyone good luck and hold on your butts. And then, here we go again. And let's see here, what else was there? Yeah, sayonara, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, goodbye to all you girls and guys in the internet land. I'll see you in the next video.